serve and protect them. Tune in Monday at 6:30 p.m. only on Rogers TV.
This week on Wine Dine Africa, I'll be making a honey roasted chicken salad, a tomato marinated salad, and chicken strawberry kebabs. So be sure to watch Wine Dine Africa Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Rogers TV.
The opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers or Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Trending in York Region. I'm your host, Gila Marto, and with me are Alan Goldstein. He's a lawyer, and he's on the Beverly Glen Ratepayer Traffic Committee, and Alan Kudanen, back again, Vaughan resident, who's, Alan, you're very politically engaged, and that's why you're here, and you're very concerned, and I know you follow the newspapers, Twitter, Facebook. You're always sending me interesting tidbits and posting things, and maybe you'll join one of the traffic committees in the area. You don't live quite in our area, but I'm sure that there's committees, and Alan was just telling us that he called the head of planning for York Region Transit.
I have a personal interest in this segment because it is my direct community. It's where I live, and I called Rick Leary and asked him if he would come on to explain what's happening in our area in terms of the mass transit and the rapid transit
viewers,
system.
because we've already met with him.
To the viewers, because I asked people in my community. Nobody knows what's going on, particularly down the Bathurst corridor. Nobody knows that there's going to be a rapid transit system down the Bathurst corridor. I didn't know until I bumped into you in a dog park. And so I figured that he should, apparently this was all public knowledge back in 2003. Nobody knows. I gave him the opportunity. I asked him, I left a voicemail message. He never got back to me.
Alden, do you get emails from the city councillor and the regional councillors? Because I'm on some email lists, and I find I'll get emails and it'll say, you know, there's a free concert in the park. It'll have, you know, some useful recycling information maybe, but a lot of it seems to be a Merry Christmas email, then I'll get a Happy Kwanzaa, then I'll get a Happy Hanukkah. And but in terms of something, you know, necessary, they have to let you know that there's meetings going on. So the city will post, you know, a small ad, say development in Bathurst or Center Street. Well, development can mean anything. If they would say building center only, bus lanes only for Viva, YRT are going to stay in with the cars down Bathurst and Center as part of the Rapid Way, and it's going to look like St. Clair, and you're going to be afraid to have your 8-year-old cross the street by bike. Well, I think a lot more people would show up for the meetings. What do you think?
I think that was one of the first problems I've come across when moving to 905 is lack of communication from the elected officials. When it's election time, we get the door hangings and we get the pamphlets and the flyers, but when it comes to a lot of the issues that revolve around the people in the community, we seem to get shortchanged.
When you can change, if you want to change your house on Bathurst from residential to commercial use, you're required to post a very large sign. There's specifications about how long it has to be up and what size it has to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if government...
To let the neighborhood know.
And people can have a chance to give their views. But for whatever reason, they can pull this sleight of hand and not notify us properly about a rapid transit system going down Bathurst Street.
Well, why don't they notify us properly?
They don't want us to know. I mean, the only thing that I can take from the meetings that I've had on the traffic committee with the people at Viva, with city councillors, et cetera, is that they don't want us to know.
Well, why don't they want us to know?
There's a social engineering program going on.
I honestly think, Alan, that they think that most people are not going to support it, and most people aren't going to want it. And most people are going to say, listen, I'm living here in the suburbs, I've got young kids, I've got hockey bags, I've got groceries. It's not like a downtown a childless couple or one child where it's minimal groceries and the stores are very close and they grab a few things every day. It's
I
very
mentioned
different.
to you that I am going to keep my car. As you said, I have 2 young daughters, and I get them, you know, my wife and I are shuttling them back and forth to dance, and people with hockey bags for hockey, et cetera, et cetera. But they know we won't support them. And that's the irony of this. If they know that we won't support them, why are they doing it? We're the taxpayers. We have a right to know. We don't want it. We certainly don't want it down Bathurst Street. I should.
So it's not just going on down Bathurst Street. Let's make it clear
Okay.
to people that it's going from Pickering to Brampton along Highway 7. They made one adjustment because the community asked for it in the Markham area, and it also does a little dip in Unionville to meet up with some transit. So basically picture somebody getting on in Pickering to go to work in Brampton or to go to York University, and they're going along Highway 7, and there's dedicated bus-only lanes for a chunk of it up to Bayview, I believe, and then there isn't that much traffic, so they don't have the bus-only lanes. And all of a sudden, you come to Bathurst, and instead of staying on Highway 7 and serving the community of Thornhill Woods, which is a pretty extensive community now, it wasn't back when they were planning this, it was empty fields back then, but it's all built up now with a community center, a high school, and a couple of elementary schools. And it takes a detour. It turns left on Bathurst, so it has the light to turn left on Bathurst, come down Bathurst, hook up with the small bus terminal at the Promenade Mall, go along Center Street, and get back on Highway 7. And what our community is asking and not getting the answers is, why doesn't it stay on Highway 7?
People who live and that are watching, people, if you live in the Bathurst corridor, let's say from Steeles North right up through Richmond Hill, you know how difficult it is. You know how difficult it is to get to your destination, to go south on Bathurst in the morning and north on Bathurst in the evenings. And you don't need a 2-lane rapid transit system down the middle of Bathurst with all the traffic chaos that it's going to entail. We know
During
this
construction,
during
chaos,
construction
and after
construction, because you're going to be siphoning off your left-hand turn lanes all along the corridor.
At Bathurst and Center, so you're losing all those
And you
left turn
don't
lanes
have-
except for the few lights.
And you don't have the ridership. We've been told there is the ridership. Well, I have the numbers to show that they don't have the ridership down the Bathurst corridor. Where they have the ridership actually is in Thornhill Woods. I've reviewed the numbers provided me by the transit system, and where they have the numbers are Thornhill Woods. And the numbers are huge going south in the morning, and they're huge with the boardings are huge in the morning, and the lightings are huge in the afternoon. So to take all those people in that community, they want to go south. Anybody in that area wants to go south, but there's going to be no way for those people to in Thornhill Woods to access this rapid transit system, because it's going to bypass their area.
I think when we look at Highway 7 and we look at that area, I think we can all be in agreement that we would have liked to see a lot more condos, a lot more businesses along
Well,
Highway 7.
that's the problem, is they don't want to give zoning on Highway 7, they want to zone on Center.
The thing to consider here is that, you know, as much as we would like it to be on Highway 7, that's not what reality is. Reality is now is that Bathurst and Center Street has become the commercial and business hub of our little community.
Well, where's
And-
the commercial? Where's the business?
The businesses that are in there now weren't there 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, there were,
And-
what business?
Well, Promenade is there.
Yeah.
This area is new. The plans for more businesses along Center are there. There's plans for condos to be there. The fact of the matter is that the people who push the buttons for transit in the region realize that there's a problem, and they're going to have to move people in and out of that center core. It's only going to grow. The amount of people that come in and out of that area is going to grow, and they need to think of something that will continue to let these businesses thrive. They need to think of something that will also promote businesses to come in some of these new stores and businesses that come in, and
Do you
especially
honestly
services.
think that people are going to come shopping on Center Street on the Rapid Way? And if the Rapid Way stayed on Highway 7, the reality is the Rapid Way is like a subway. It's to get from long distances. It's not for local public transportation access. That's what I believe. I believe that if people need to get from the Promenade Mall onto the Rapid Way, they should do it by bus, or they could almost walk. It's very close.
That's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
The numbers on Center Street are very large, and it's because of the boardings and lightings at the Promenade Mall. There's no question that people at the Promenade Mall want to go down Center Street towards Highway 7, and it's being serviced right now. There's no need for
Being serviced by YRT?
by YRT.
Because the Rapidway is just Viva.
And right, that's just Viva. So the Bathurst from Highway 7 down to Centre is being serviced by YRT. Centre Street from Bathurst over to, say, Dufferin or Highway 7 is being serviced by YRT. So this Rapidway that should be an east-west instrument should continue along Highway 7 north of Bathurst right over to Centre Street. And the existing YRT structure is in place that can service that. We don't need the Viva Rapid Transit going down Bathurst and then taking people down
Right,
Centre
just
Street.
to hook up with the Promenade Mall.
That's right.
I think when you take a look at that stretch of road from Highway 7, Bathurst South to Promenade, and even the Centre Street to Dufferin, and you look at the space that you have, I mean, the south on Bathurst don't even have curbs on the street yet. There's a good chunk of grass even before you hit a sidewalk. I believe, having looked at the St. Clair fiasco, I don't think it worked there. I think the space was way too small for something like that.
Yeah.
But when you look at Bathurst and you look at Centre, there's more than enough room. There's more than enough room to build a two-way rapid transit system north-south.
Well, Alden,
and
you said the
east-west.
key word. You said St. Clair fiasco, and I'm calling this the Centre Street fiasco, and I'm very concerned. I think it's going to cut off that neighborhood because they have the 407, Highway 7, sort of sloping down on one side, Bathurst and Centre on the other side. I think they would never be detouring to go to the Promenade Mall if it didn't slope down on that side. So take a look at your map. I'm going to have to thank everybody and thank my guests. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Keep me posted. Find me on Facebook and Twitter and let me know what's trending in your neighborhood.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line at 905-780-7114 or email us your comments.
The Vice President is going to want to use you. Get as close to him as you possibly can.
You're done telling me anything.
You cannot do this! I can do whatever I want. I am a cop with massive issues.
Order through your remote on Channel 335.
Hello, I'm Stuart McLean. The Nature Conservancy of Canada has helped save more than 2 million acres of ecologically significant land right across Canada. But there are still hundreds of places facing direct and immediate threat. NCC needs your support to protect these lands and the species that depend on them. Join the fight to save Canada's ecological treasures. Visit natureconservancy.ca. That's natureconservancy.ca.
This is Rogers TV York Region, where local matters.